Welcome back to the Turtle Optimist podcast. On today's show, we're digging deep with Christi, the brilliant mind behind Bougie Plants. What started as a pandemic passion project blossomed into a unique business where Christi doesn't just sell plants, she curates an experience, an entire experience. Forget about just greenery. Bougie Plants is all about the perfect pairing of a plant and vessel, transforming your space with living art. Join us today to hear how Christi cultivated her vision and discover how you can add a touch of bougie to your own plant collection. Welcome to the show, Christi.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, so I'm really excited. I call myself a plant mom. I love plants. You mentioned bougie plants really came during the pandemic. And so, can you walk us through that moment? Like, what was it like about the word bougie that resonated with you, especially given your Aquarius nature and desire to go against the grain?
Yeah, I'm very different. I'm very different. I always put my own touch, my own spin on things. It has to be a certain way. But sometimes I'm the only person that sees that and sees it that way.
Hmm.
But then when I share it with others, they really love it.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. It's really appreciated. It's well received. And I kind of just ran with it. Like it kind of so the bougie, I don't know. It's just always just that little extra. In my work environment, it was a group of us. We would celebrate each other's birthdays, milestones, things that were special. And I was always one of the ones that would help kind of bougie up the space, like really celebrate that person to the nth degree, or welcome a new coworker, a new employee, or just welcome coming back to the semester. I used to work in person in an educational environment. And it was just that extra, and it just, it wasn't dry, it wasn't dull, it wasn't boring. And just one day I just thought, like, why can't I do that with the plants too? Um, I worked in person, when the pandemic hit, there were a lot of plants in the office between my coworkers and I. And, we kind of divvied them up and took some home. And they became, our plant friends because, we can't really see each other, or our plant children, or what have you. And then, plants, they outgrow, their containers. And when it came time to do something with them, I wanted to do something different.
Hmm.
And I was just like, can I do this? Should I do this? And I'm asking the plant, like, are you going to be all right if I do this?
Yeah.
But then, when you trust your knowledge and you also have a relationship with the plants, you do learn you learn what they need. You learn when they're telling you something, when they're receptive to things that you're trying to do, and so on and so forth. So, yes, I was asking the plants, like, are you going to be all right if I? Then I'm like, yeah, you're going to be all right. And then it was like, oh.
Hmm.
And I would gift them to friends and relatives for birthdays, for special occasions.
Hmm.
I just started filling my house up like crazy. I started helping other family members and friends start their own plant journey. And then finally, someone was like, you should sell these. And I was like, you think somebody wants to buy it? They were like, I want to buy it. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I want to buy it. you know, and they're like, you can see the quality in it. And then, the way you explain how to care for it, like you make people feel like they can,
Hmm.
in addition to it being pretty. Sometimes you see, a terracotta pot or just an ugly little plastic pot, and you're just like, ew,
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
ew. But then if it's really pretty, and then someone's kind of letting you know that you really can, you're willing to try, and then you can, and then you build and you expand, and before you know it, whoom, you're a plant parent too.
Hmm.
Yeah, sometimes just the beauty, the bouginess of it sparks um,
Hmm.
people to let plants into their home.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, and I think that when I started, like, and I would not say I have a green thumb. I'm not all into plants outside. I just like it really indoors for some reason. But one thing that I noticed during my like plant journey is that I would start off with like, ooh, that plant is pretty, and then, but then it's going in this not pretty pot. And so over time, it's like you kind of learn your way, but there are still some people who need help, which is why I'm so glad that Bougie Plants is around, because I think that when you think about traditional plant presentation, right? I feel like you've really flipped the script on that. So why do you believe that plants and their containers shouldn't be boring? And what's the story behind adding glitter or logos or personal pictures to those containers?
So my tagline is why bougie, why not?
Mm.
And literally, like, why not?
Hmm.
Like everything we have has variation. I mean, think about it. Think about your kitchen. You can pretty much pick what color you want your refrigerator to be, as well as your microwave and your stove.
Hmm. Yep.
Why not? Literally, why not? Why not? The same way that you want to specify and to personify and exercise your options in your kitchen, you should be able to do that with everything in your home and everything in your space.
Hmm.
You know, it shouldn't be okay. I'm going to get a plant, but I'm only going to kind of stick it in the kitchen behind the table because that pot is so ugly and I'm gonna stick it in the window. And like, yeah, like if I really had this, if I really could get it the way I wanted to, then it would be the centerpiece on my dining room table,
Hmm.
or it would be on my mantle above my fireplace. Like it would be here or it would be there if it looked like it fit in with my decor.
Hmm.
Um, I grew up in one of those houses where there was a room and everything was white.
Hmm.
Everything was white. You know, granted, I snuck in there, sometimes from time to time when I wanted a little quiet time because there
Yep.
was no TV in there. Like it was, it was white and it was what it was.
Hmm.
But who's going to put a terracotta pot in a white room? Who's going to
Hmm.
put an ugly black plastic planter in a white room?
Hmm.
No, you're going to want something white
Yep.
or something crystallized or glass. You
Hmm.
know, you're going to want something that brings out that space that represents you, that makes you smile when you walk past it, that makes you feel pride, like with your other curated and acquired possessions. Intention.
Yep.
It's all about intention.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like there's a lot more options today. I feel like, there's so many like plant stores or whatever you want to say, and there's so many different shapes and colors and textures and all of that. And I love that you play off of that and that
Yes.
you're able to match it with someone's decor or their preference or give them something they don't even realize that they wanted yet, so that's good. That's I think it's great. I love plants, so yay. Beyond the visual appeal, we had talked and you said that there's really a mental health benefit of plants. And so how do you see your bougie approach enhancing that connection between people and their plants?
So the bougie opens the door. Again, sometimes how you see the plant in the store, you know what I mean? It may not fit with how you want it to be in your home.
Mhm.
Maybe you do or you don't have the skill. Maybe you do or you don't have the time. Remember, a lot of the times we purchase things based on our bandwidth. It's not always that we don't have the skill and the ability ourselves,
Mhm.
but sometimes we don't have the bandwidth to really get each piece and create what it is that we want.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, and we already know that plants give off oxygen,
Mhm.
and oxygen is good for the brain.
Mhm.
But also that intimate connection, like plants do slow you down. Plants do require your attention. And they also give back in return, not only, cleansing your air and cleansing your space, but plants, you give them love and they give you back love in the form of a new leaf, in the form of growth,
Mhm.
in the form of flowering, if that plant does that.
Mhm.
um, in the sense of sometimes our plants are ill and we have to do something to help them. And
Mhm.
when we do help them, when we save them, when
Mhm.
we help them heal, we can help ourselves heal too.
Yeah.
It's trusting, it's nonverbal communication.
Mhm.
It's so many things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So many things.
Yeah.
I remember there was a joke a while back that supervisor I love, a beloved supervisor. Like I never called her a boss, always like a supervisor or like a leader because she really didn't personify all those negative things of a boss.
Mm-hmm.
But she's a boss. Don't get
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it. I believe it was her sister or someone who had said something to the effect of, you know what I mean? If you can take care of a plant, then you can manage, a relationship or you can, date or be married, these types of things. And I'm like plants really are the foundation for everything. So of course we make jokes out of everything. So of course we made a whole joke out of it.
Yeah.
But long story short, she has plants, she takes care of plants, and of
Mm-hmm.
course she really didn't have plants around, but just, that little thought, that little entertaining of that, like, oh, okay, well, why not? Let's see.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, of course, she was like, "Well, can you make it bougie? Like these are the colors in my house." Like that was the number two thing after, like, "Oh, this is a thing." Like, right, these are the colors in my house. Can you
Right.
see it?
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that you were able to do that for her. So that's, yeah, it's good because I think that, you can be a green thumb, but then you can, or have a green thumb, but then the designer part is another piece that not everybody has. So I really love that you're able to do both. That's really good. And so you had kind of mentioned to me that your initial motivation was creativity mixed with plants. So can you describe your creative process? How do you come up with the unique designs and concepts of the containers?
It's very interesting. So I explained how I would kind of, decorate spaces in the office. Um, I had a wall in one of my offices. And it was like a wall of inspiration where I had like positive quotes and elements of nature and butterflies. And it was more of I saw an idea and
Mhm,
I saw this blank piece
mm,
and I just went. I
mhm,
just went. And the same thing kind of happens with plants. And I know that that's probably not explaining, but some things really can't be explained. So I can kind of like give you a little bit of the framework, but really it's sometimes I see a plant, a specific plant, and I go, wow, I want to try this, I want to try that, I want to do this, I want to do that. Or sometimes I see a specific container and I go, oh, I know what would look pretty in that. I know what would go good with that. I know what would speak
mhm,
that. And my
mhm,
brain, it just starts firing. And I can't explain it. Like when I very, very first started, I used to just like laugh and go, yeah, I could put a plant in anything. Like I could put a plant in anything. And truth is, I can, and I
yeah,
have,
yeah,
and I continue to.
yeah. That's awesome. Well, and the plants behind you look beautiful, so you're doing something right.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Do you So I guess you offer the option for your customers. They can bring their own plants to you, or they can just customize a container. What's the most unusual or memorable request you've received?
So I don't think I've gotten anything unusual yet. I don't think anything was unusual. For me, I'm always very honored by the requests.
Mhm,
Um, and there are a couple that stand out in my mind. One for me, the more I'm able to use my creativity, I think those are the ones they push me, they challenge me. Um, I have a friend who I went to high school with. She's starting her own business. She got her own office space. Well, she had her own business,
mhm,
but she got her own office space really
mhm,
recently. And she had a launch date, and she was like, I mean, she had to do everything. Like she had to paint the walls, she had to get furniture, she had to, get the internet set up, and it was every she had to do everything. And she wanted plants in her office. She could have done them herself. She could have. She
mhm,
did not have the time. And
mhm.
she wanted them done right. And she trusted me
Yeah.
to do it. And I felt so good. They were four huge floor level plants with stands, two
Wow.
plants on the side, on, mounted on the walls on the sides.
Mm-hmm.
One plant like in her reception area. So 7 plants, but
Mm-hmm.
of course, like I was overwhelmed and I was excited and I was like, but this is what I'm here for. It's like, let me do that. That's what I want to do all day. You do
Mm-hmm.
what you need to do. That's what I want to do all day. Just let me do that. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going from store to store and I'm taking pictures and I'm doing measurements and I'm like, okay, based on your space and the color scheme you want, how about these, and this is my suggestion for this and that and that. And I got all the prices, everything, and proposed it to her. And of course, I'm nervous because
Yeah.
life is life and things are expensive. And I'm like, oh no, you know, and I'm not just bougie for the sake of bougie. No,
Mm-hmm.
very practical as far as price. Like I do know the difference. I was shopping with my stepdaughter like a couple of days ago and I was helping her get her plant space together and she was picking pots. I was like, you just pick the pot you want. I'm just here to say if it's going to fit the plant, work for the plant, yes or no. But your color scheme and what resonates with you is you. Like that's 100% you. And she was like, oh, I like this. I was like, not for $60, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 So I'm still very practical in that sense. So I'm not just out here just like, oh, just do the most for, no specific reason. No, I still, have a respect of budgets and I'm not extravagant,
Mm-hmm.
but you can be bougie on a
Yep.
budget. You
Yeah.
can.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
And nobody would know. You know what I mean? Nobody knows but you because it doesn't look cheap. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I have an eye for quality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think that I mean, talking about not just you as a person, but also as a business owner, I think that that's something people can trust because there are some businesses that want to charge you top dollar for something that's not necessary. And so I think that that's very ethical, and that would build your business clientele, if you will, so people could trust that you're going to help them the right way without spending too much that's unnecessary. So that's really good. Yeah.
Right. And I'm so often told that I'm undervalued, that I undervalue my services,
Hmm.
that, my prices, aren't unreasonable.
Hmm.
I get told that a lot. I do. I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. One of the things about this podcast is that I really like to focus on what brings people joy. And, as everybody kind of goes through their life journey, and no matter where you are in that life journey, whether you're very, very young, whether you're getting older, etc. And so when we talked about this, you said that you get joy from working in the soil and plants, and you mentioned green mussels and microbiomes. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Can you elaborate on that connection and what is it about like the hands-on in the soil that brings really you and the plants so much satisfaction?
So we are organic beings and we do have a connection to the earth, but
Mhm.
a lot of times it's been removed involuntarily by the way we conduct our lives, the way we don't interact with nature, the way we don't ground ourselves to the earth. Like, I don't know if you practice yoga,
Mhm.
calmness,
Mhm.
breathing,
Mhm.
going in,
Yep. Yep.
finding your own rhythm,
Mhm.
creating your own vibration and also keeping your vibration at a certain level,
Mhm.
but also grounding. Like, we have energy in our body. And we really should be more in sync with the energy of
Mhm.
nature.
Mhm.
And soil has microbes. Like there's something called microbes in there. And I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know how it works, but it does. It's just something in it. Like after a while, having my hands in the soil, it's just like having your feet out in bare grass.
Mhm.
Like I have arthritis. I
Mhm.
have arthritis, and sometimes it's a struggle to be in my chair, my work chair, my real 9 to 5, in
Mhm.
that space
Mhm.
all day. I have to get up. I have to take breaks. I have pains,
Yep.
walking around doing different things. Sometimes I'm in pain sometimes.
Yep.
But Jenny, when I get my hands in these plants, I mean, hours go by. I don't feel no pain. I
Mhm.
have optimal energy. I
Mhm.
feel good. I feel
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
There have been times that I have just kind of been sad or just, at my wit's end,
Mhm.
because of my 9 to 5 or because of what's happening in the world or just things that happen that are beyond our control, which are always going to be there.
Right.
But when I come in this room, I can sit on the floor. I can just kind of put my back against a plant or put a plant between my legs and I can just breathe and I can reset. I
Mhm.
can spread a tarp out on the floor. I can, dump out a plant. I can start massaging roots. I can, separate, divide.
Mhm.
And I'm definitely one of those people like I cringe. I'm not saying it's wrong or it's impossible because everyone has their own approach, but
Mhm.
I definitely cringe when I see videos of people just like taking a knife or like a axe and they just chop the plant in half or chop the plant in four. So I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but again, the plant doesn't die and it works for them. Hey, I'm definitely not because too many people criticize my methods and
Mhm.
they work.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to be the one to criticize someone else's methods. Like you do what works for you. You find your niche, you find your space, you find whatever. But
Mhm.
I'm literally the one I will sit, I will massage the roots, I will untangle them.
Mhm.
And I don't even know where I go when I'm doing this. It's like my hands are just going and it's just,
Mhm.
it just, it
Yeah.
it is what it is. And usually the plant is a little better for it. Like, yeah, it loses some roots from being tussled, but
Mhm.
it doesn't nearly have the shock,
Right.
of literally being chopped.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, and I noticed too, I don't know, like I love repotting plants. It's like I bring them outside and it's like I get all the new dirt and it's just I don't know, there's something about it and it's like you're covered in dirt and
Mhm.
it just feels so good. So,
It's the microbes doing their job.
yeah, yeah. So you're clearly passionate about nature and supporting the pollinator cycle. I know you and I had talked about that. So how does your bougie plants business align with your broader environmental values?
Everything that I create with as far as soil and amendments, are organic.
Mm,
So that's one thing. I definitely make sure that I am not harming the earth, perpetually harming them through my consumerism
mhm,
or through my manufacturing or through anything that I do with any plant that comes across my hand.
mhm,
Also, I share education. When people ask me, well, why are your plants so, or how are your plants so? And I tell them that organic things make a difference.
yeah.
Where your soil comes from, what kind of soil you have, what you're putting in the soil, what you do with the soil after you're done with it.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah,
Like,
right, right. Yeah, and I think that that education is really important because I know for myself, and it's not to criticize any other business, but I know that when I have gone and I got a plant and I was really excited, but one, maybe it's my fault. I didn't ask how to take care of the plant, but also there was no instruction to me as the customer. And I get it home, then it either dies or it's like struggling, And I think that that education piece is also a really nice part of supporting the environment, supporting community, etc. So thank you for doing that. I think it's great.
happy. I love to talk plants. I tell people that all the time. I love to talk plants. And I love to solve problems too. I think I'm a problem solver by nature.
Mhm.
And sometimes, you know, you may be unsure, like you said, the plant is struggling. You may be unsure as to what the plant is trying to tell you.
Mhm.
So I do like helping people think critically
Mhm.
and try to understand what the plant is saying. What have you tried? What have you not tried? Where is the plant? How long have you had the plant? What could have triggered? What could have caused? Like really help them to kind of open their mind and think in a more of in a 360 than just a,
Yeah,
very limited view.
right, right. That's true. Yeah. You had shared with me that, and I'm probably going to butcher it, one of your favorite sayings, we are takers. How are you giving back? What are you doing? So, can you give us some examples of how you are giving back? through your business or personal life?
Personal life, so I compost, I recycle.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of live by it, and I encourage my family to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I'm on vacation, I'm like, where I'm at the resort, like, where are your recycle bins?
Yes. Yeah.
For those people, like, you don't recycle, clutches
Right.
pearls. No, like, yeah, I'm one of those. But yeah, I'm always just trying to find little ways that I can like just be a good steward of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a pollinator garden.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first started off, I just had like just random beautiful plants.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that pandemic, that slowed down, and I really came to understand the value of native plants to support native species.
Yeah.
And I love butterflies. I really do, for their symbolism, their beauty, and everything about them. But when you love nature, you love all of the creatures.
Yeah.
And I really developed more of a respect for the whole class of pollinators because without them, we would not stand as a civilization. We would not.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to educate people about that. Like, and I understand it's expensive, but I just say when you can, if you have a choice, or wait till this time of the year when they're trying to get rid of it, and then you just start for the next year. Like you can plant, you can fall sow. You know what I mean? You can do that in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to run out and buy it right now. Like, make your plan and it's still going to help the pollinators. It still is.
Yeah.
Um, I show people where to get things. Like I don't keep gatekeep information. I
Mm-hmm.
don't about anything.
Yeah.
About where I get my products, about how I get my products, that you can make your own soil. I make my own soil. You can make your own soil. If you don't want to, I'm happy to sell you some soil, but I'm not going to make you think that I'm the only person that can do it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can grow plants.
Mm-hmm.
You can grow food. I can tell you how. I can show you where to get these resources. Again, if you don't have time, I'm happy to set you up. I'm happy to start you. I'm happy to create a plan and send it to you,
Mm-hmm.
based on what you need and, for a fee, of course.
Right.
But I'm never going to give you the impression that you can't do these things yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of help people understand the impact of what you do for yourself and how to support the environment at the same time and how it doesn't cost you anything to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Simple choices
Yep. Yep.
along the way. When I show up at farmers markets events or pop-ups as they call them, I'm green. I don't have business cards. This is my business card. I have a digital business card. I'm not killing a tree for nothing. I'm
Right.
not. The
Yeah.
worst I did was I killed a cotton tree, but it's
Right.
but I've repurposed it so that I hope that there's I've made good use of it. I've been a good steward
Yeah.
of what I have. So those type of things, like definitely information is free, using environmentally safe products, using environmental products. Pests are a big problem with plants. I tell people how to use organic products, not harmful pesticides to combat pests. You're always going to have pests.
Yeah.
So those types of things, like how that little choices make
Mhm.
a difference. And we all have the power to make those little choices and impact big change.
Yeah. We do. We do. That's for sure. Yeah. So, for anyone listening here who might be hesitant to try something as unique as bougie plants, what advice would you give them to start embracing their own creativity with plants?
Why bougie? Why not? Why not? Like I've met a lot of people that do different things. Like I met one amazing gentleman. He has like a glass bottle,
Hmm.
glass shards, and I hope I'm not butchering it. And if he sees this, please send in a correction so that we can get it right.
Right?
But they're glass bottles
Hmm.
with like crushed glass and
Oh,
some other things in them. And you
okay.
don't have to water them. Like he's made some kind of little ecosystem in the bottle that supports the roots. They're absolutely beautiful. And you don't have to water them.
Wow.
I don't believe that there's soil in there, or maybe there's again, if you're watching this, just let us know. We're gonna
Yeah.
fix it. We're gonna make it right. We
Right?
correctly advertise your product and your name.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's his thing. He found his lane, you
Hmm.
know, and he went with it. Like I found my lane. I went with it. There are a lot of people that also do plants that I follow them, they follow me, and we all do it our own way. And
Mhm.
even if it's not plants, like we all have something inside of us. Like clearly you hear me saying that I have a 9 to 5, I have, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
this is the other part of what I do. Like this is the peaceful part of what I do. This is the
Yeah.
balance,
Right.
so what makes you happy?
Mhm.
And like we all have a hobby, but it's just interesting that no, I will say, okay, so the generation before us, they had hobbies.
Mhm.
Now our generation has hobbies, but they're gigs, they're side jobs.
True.
And that's just very interesting. But it all kind of bred out of knowing or growing up seeing that,
Mhm.
yes, you have your work life, but you have your life. Like, what are you doing? What is your life? What makes you smile? What makes you happy? What brings it down a little bit when
Mhm.
you finish what you have to do
Yeah.
to sustain yourself and sustain your living and your family.
Yeah.
Like, what is that thing? And have fun with it and take risks and enjoy it.
Mhm.
And don't let anybody tell you that it's silly or it doesn't make sense.
Right. Yeah,
Just
I agree with you.
just
Yeah.
be Aquarius for a minute and just
Yeah.
just okay. All right. Thanks.
Mhm. Mhm.
Just
Exactly.
do what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, so my last question for you is really looking ahead, what are the future aspirations for Bougie Plans? What's the next big dream for your business that you have?
I want to start teaching. I
Ooh.
actually have some classes coming up. Some things will be similar, small and simple, like just education. Like some people, they just want to know.
Mhm.
And I mean, like I really, in my mind, I'm like envisioning a whole series,
Mhm.
like just a series on like what you need to have. Like I legit have a bougie bag,
Oh,
like
wow.
a bag that has like everything I need to support and care for the plants.
Mhm.
Because the worst thing for me is I get a plant, I open him or her up or them, however
Mhm.
they identify, I
Mhm.
open it up.
Yeah.
And then, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I need some cinnamon. Oh, I need some peroxide. Oh, I need to clip you. But have I cleaned my shears? Do I have alcohol? And meanwhile, it's just like the roots are just drying. Now, some plants are sensitive than others. I had a situation legit. This is like in the early days. A good friend of mine and we were making a plant.
Mhm.
We were dividing a plant and
Mhm.
we were breaking it down into smaller containers, but it didn't dawn on us until we already had the plant like guts open
Yeah.
that the containers, some were too big, some were too small. It was a plant that had rhizomes, so it's not like just straight roots where it's more of, you can manipulate a rhizome. You're not moving a rhizome. Those things were like
Mm.
potatoes. Like
Yeah.
they're not going nowhere.
Mhm.
We put the plant with some soil in a bag and tied it up. It was fine. It was
Yeah.
but that's one of those hardy plants.
Yeah.
Some plants you can't do that. You got to be quick to minimize the shock. You can't leave them open too long. You
Yeah.
can't fiddle with them too much.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are your go-to? Like a doctor had a doctor bag when they would
Yeah.
make calls. Like, yes, like what do you need in your little plant bag? So
Yeah.
that kind of thing. How to determine your lighting, what watering is. Like, there's so many terms floating around there. People don't know what they mean,
Yeah.
helping them understand what it means. So that is like a whole little educational series. I could probably do like 10 classes just on education alone.
Yeah.
But I also want to do guided activities, guided
Mm.
planting, like
Yeah.
come plant bougie, like let's make this. Like, like you have people painting and everyone like following the paint. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
so let's plant like that. Let's
Yeah.
do that's
Yeah.
a group plan. And then you get to take something home. And then you've had a wonderful experience. You have education. And the next thing you know, you filled up your home with bougie plants
Yeah.
because, we have a different plant every month, every quarter, every, whatever. Um, Guiding people and leading people through how to set up their pollinator gardens, how
Mhm.
to set up growing gardens, really knowing like, hey, it doesn't have to cost you that much
Mhm.
or some of those things you see on TikTok, Instagram. I've tried them. They do work. Come on, let's do it.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
those like that's what I want to do. That's what I really want to do. Is a lot of people they see the things and they're like, I want to try it. I don't know. Yeah, I've done it. It's legit. Come on, let's do it
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, and I love that really your future of the business is not just about the business and growing money, but it's really investing back into the community. And again, I think, I really commend you on that because when people are looking for companies or businesses to partner with, it's like you want to find someone who is legit and someone who is ethical and trustworthy and able to sustain, my interests and the environment So um, this is exciting. I'm really excited about your future.
You, me too.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you. Well, that's all the dirt we have for you today on the Turtle Optimist. A huge thank you to Christy from Bougie Plants for sharing her incredible journey and passion for pairing the perfect plant with the perfect vessel. We hope that you feel inspired to bring more green and more style into your own space. To learn more about bougie plants and to see some of the beautiful creations that you've seen here today and that we've talked about, please make sure to check the link in the show notes and join us next time for another exciting conversation right here on the Turtle Optimist podcast. Thank you.